Greeting lecturer and hello everyone, I'm Sang Srini. So in this video, I will share my perspective and answer the question that lecturer assigned. So the first question is about, has my teaching philosophy changed over time after I experience in teaching? So from my answer is yes, because first when I became a teacher, I only taught the student by following the traditional way. For example, when I need to take a present simple, I just write on the form and give them an example, and then they just follow my structures, and then they can change a few words or they can change the subject, and then they can use that as their own sentence. And however, in this recent years, when I graduated from my bachelor degree in teaching, it changed my way of teaching. Because if I were to teach my student about present simple, I would ask them to work as a group. I would give them few questions to let them think about the meaning or about the usage of the tense. The other way is that after they talk with their friend and exchange the idea, I always give them an example or a scene to make they think about the situation, why it's like this, why it's like that. For example, I would give them about the routine and why do we use present simple in the routine. Yes, that is how I change in my teaching. And the second one is about my view of language. So basically, when I first just a learner, I only thought that language is about the structures, it's about the rule and the grammar, that if I can create a sentence, then that's it. However, it changed my mind when I start to teach my student to communicate. So I think that if the student can interact with their friend, that can lead them to have more experience in their life and interact with their friend. Also let the student feel confident, feel comfort, and can express their feeling better. So in my classroom, I often design the plan that let my student to communicate with their friend, with their peer, because I think that if their friend was asked to talk with them, they feel more comfortable, they would express better opinion than being with the teacher. And one more thing, when they teaching the idea, I can just walk around and input more about the meaning, try to explain them more. So this one, the student active more than the teacher. And as for the third question is about how I view myself as a teacher. At first, I always thought that the teacher is the one who teach the student everything. One more thing is that the teacher is the one who take control of the class, and the student is the one who only follow the teachers. For example, like I give them a sentence, then the student just follow the sentence and change the subject or the verb or change a bit of the meaning of the sentence, then that's it. However, my experience changed this thought, because nowadays I always think that the teacher is the supporter, the guy that provides student positive feedback, positive environment, feel comfortable to study with. And the other thing is that the teachers is the one who just the guide and let the student do the activities by themselves. Even if sometimes it's hard for me as a teacher, but I still try my best to be flexible and change the plan according to the situation. Because in some class, the student, they are still teenagers, and then the way they talk and the way they behave is different from the older one. And also some students, they are just kids, so they need different way of teaching. But there's one thing that they always need is that they want to feel comfortable to study with that teachers, and they want to feel loved and supported. So that's it for the question number 3. So let's just move on to question number 4. And the question number 4 is about how do I plan to keep growing in my teaching. So even if right now I'm a teacher, there's still many things that I need to learn, especially when it's come to nowadays teaching, because it is challenging for the teacher and they need to know a lot of things. For example, if it's about technology, and the student nowadays, they're good at using technology, and so the teacher must follow the trend, and they should import the technology in their teaching to make sure that the student feel engaged in their class and they won't feel bored. Besides, to improve my technology skill, I also need to attend workshop in teaching that related to my field, and the other one is about reading a lot of research from the other country or any researchers to see the background of the student from different areas. Since if we see different background of the student, we can think about the problem and we need to find out the solution. Sometimes we might find it through other researchers. So this is also a good way to keep myself growing. And another thing that is important is that I need to evaluate myself. For example, when it's come to the exam, there will be scoring the student paper. So if I see the item of exam is hard for them, so I mean that their level need to be lower the exam paper. And then the other thing is that if there's some errors or not many of my students don't get the lesson that I teach them, that is mean that there's some part I need to improve. This one is the most important thing, because if the teacher themselves didn't know where they are not good at, so this one they should notice and they should think about it and try to find a solution. I can say this one is a reflection that let the teacher see themselves where they should improve and where they are not good at. So overall, after 4 questions, my teaching have changed after I have experienced many years, and the way I think of the language also changed. Even when I apply the method in teaching, it's also changed. Because if I teach the student in different area, then their character and the way we behave is also different. So I cannot keep applying the same method. I can keep doing the same thing. I need to improve myself. That is one of the reasons why I attend the MA programs. And that's it for this video, and thank you for listening. Goodbye teacher and everyone.